But it is off of Rock Road in Broxton.
In Broxton. It's not too hard to
Georgia,
find.
the rocks are almost directly north of Douglas, Georgia. Just going toward the Ocmulgee River, just due north, go to Broxton, and then turn right on Ocmulgee, go by the post office there. But it's usually when we organize groups, we meet at the Broxton post office at a given time and then go up together, since it is a little bit off the beaten path. But it's up in northeastern Coffee County, and a little bit of the preserve goes into Jeff Davis County.
Do you know more of the history about the rocks, how it came about, and the Nature Conservancy's involvement with it?
I'll take that one, Ginger. It's an exciting story. People have known how special the Broxton Rocks is for a long, long time. There were naturalists coming down here in the early 1900s. Roland Harper had a friend here who worked at the Georgia Normal College, J.M. Hendricks, and he would come and visit him, and he just saw some things out at the sandstone outcrops that he didn't see anything anywhere else, and he wrote these up and described them and developed a good bit of interest. And so through the years, it just became a wonderful meeting place for picnics and get-togethers. Then just fast forward up until our lifetime, in 1984, some endangered plants were discovered there. Aleata racemosa, this beautiful Georgia plume that blossoms in the summer that grows only in Georgia. And that generated a good bit of excitement. About that time, the Nature Conservancy was founding a Georgia chapter, and this became one of their first projects. So in 1992, big year for Douglas and Coffee County and Broxton, the Nature Conservancy acquired several hundred acres there to preserve the Broxton Rocks. So it's a fun history, and it's just lots of people were involved in making it happen, and it's just a real community success.
Well, I tell you, after hearing that, it's no wonder people from everywhere, all walks of life, wants to come to tour it. And let's get to that. If someone wanted to go on a guided tour of the rocks, whom would they call?
Okay. Well, there's a couple ways that they can actually handle that. They can either contact the Nature Conservancy, and I can give them a number that they can call directly and reserve a place on the tours, and we will definitely get the tour dates to you.
Okay.
But they can contact Miriam Dormer at 404-253-7210, and she will be happy to put them down for one of the tours. Or you can also contact me, or go on our Friends of Broxton Rocks Facebook page and leave us a message, and we'll get you signed up. So there's several avenues to do that, and I know that in the past they've called the city and signed up. So any way they go about it, they're going to get to the right folks and get down for one of the tours. So
okay. Now, what's the proper attire and things people should know about the tour, so they'll know what they're getting involved with?
Okay.
Georgia depends on the season of the year, but most of the tours are in the spring and the fall, and so hot weather and cold weather aren't real issues, but usually heat's more of a challenge than cold during the tours. But the big things are water, a camera, binoculars, and bug spray. If you can take those along, you're in good shape.
I tell everybody, so when I go, be sure to pack my Scream. Okay. Any health limitations for anyone with the tour?
Well, it is a rugged terrain, it's part of it. You know, we have had various ages go out, and everyone seems to manage it fine. We definitely assist them getting up and down, but you know, they do sign a release to go out at their own risk, so to speak. It's like I said, it has the waterfalls, which you can get to fairly easily, but then you have to climb down a little bit to go to the caves area, so you kind of have to think about that. But we have made accommodations pretty much for anyone that wants to get out there and can walk. And Jim wants to add anything to that?
That's it. It's typically about a half of a mile walk in to see the rock falls themselves. And then beyond, that's a pretty easy walk. Beyond that, it's some up and down, and you need to require some care and some athleticism.
Okay.
Well, one of the events that you have coming up is the open house. Is that the first tour of the spring?
The Easter open house.
Easter
right.
open house.
Right. Actually, let's see. The Easter open house is going to fall on April the 5th.
Okay.
From 1 to 5. It is a traditional event that has occurred for years. Jim can go back and tell us even how long. He's been here longer than myself, but we are really trying to promote that and really get a lot of interest back up in that. In the past, I know there were families that used to go out every Easter, spread out the picnic and stay out there, and we'd like to see that happen again. We've been fortunate to have one of the Eagle Scouts with our local Boy Scouts provide us with 2 picnic tables out there now.
Good.
So
Oh, neat.
we're going to enjoy those, I know. We have an Easter egg hunt for the kids. It is from 1 to 5. You don't have to sign up for that. You can just come on out and enjoy it anytime between those hours. We'll hope that the weather's going to be nice. I have been out to the falls a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and the falls are absolutely beautiful right now. They really are. They're full and flowing, and the spring is a good time to enjoy that. So.
Good. I know we've had some good recent rain this in the earlier part of this year, and I know you mentioned all the other dates before that. It can go to the Friends of the Broxton Rocks Facebook page, and we have it also on our City of Douglas website, community events calendar. So if you can't find it, give us a call or call Ginger or Jim, and they'll get you the information.
Right.
Let's talk a little more about the Friends of the Broxton Rocks. How is it that you all formed, and what are your other interests in the Broxton area, for the Broxton area, other than the rocks?
Well, I'll just say first to address how we address a Friends group. We just started a Facebook page, which is Friends of Broxton Rocks, and if you'd like to join that, just go on there and visit it and see the pictures, which is a real good resource for actually getting a little taste of what's out there. And I try to keep that updated, and I know Jim is good about posting on that as well, about events that are going around the state of Georgia, and the rocks in particular. So. And we do want to try to really promote the rocks, more and more interest in that, especially folks around Broxton who are there and can give us some history maybe that they know that we haven't heard about. A lot of the older generation that may have can tell stories about when they used to go out and visit. And just really kind of get the youth involved as well. And that's one thing that we're trying to promote, is get some of the younger generation interested in that preserve. So.
Yeah, Georgia, there's nothing more exciting than to see youngsters involved, because many of the things that the Nature Conservancy is doing, there's multi-year projects of restoration of the ecology as it would have been, say, when the early folks arrived here in the early 1800s. And so restoring a lot of the longleaf pine ecosystem and the wiregrass and such, and that requires some management and some regular burns and keeping after invasive species of plants and stuff that shouldn't really be in a preserve like that. So it's a long-range thing, and these kids will see the rocks years from now in ways that we can only imagine. It's going to be terrific.
That is great. So I know you have community cleanup days, right? So where the volunteers can get involved. Is that the type of event? What you just mentioned?
Right, there are work days. The
Work
Nature
days.
Conservancy, and then, for example, you may be familiar with the plant called a popcorn tree or Chinese tallow tree. Well, these plants, as beautiful as they are in our yards, they'll get out in a low area and just almost like kudzu. They'll just spread like crazy. So there are work days to help get rid of things like that, and that's all scheduled through the Nature Conservancy.
Okay. So well, what are some ways like locals can get involved with the Friends of the Broxton Rocks?
Well, as Jim said, we definitely have work days, and you can sign up to do that. And they will be posted on our Friends page, or through Myron Dormer. You can call her, and she can hook you up with the date or whatever.
But if they want to become like a member, is there
just
membership?
go on that page and like it, and then they can keep up with everything that's going on. And like I said, we post the events and the tour dates and everything on that page. So that'd be a great way.
Yeah, the Nature Conservancy is the umbrella group, and they're 1 million strong, have projects going on in 50 states and 35 countries, saving the world's last great places. So it's just a terrific organization. So the financial support is there, and often people will get interested in one area of the state and find themselves working down on the coast in another state. I promised some friends I'd say something about the Satilla River Keeper. the Broxton Rocks actually flows north into the Okmulgee River. Most of our watershed's in the Satilla River basin, but people become interested in one area of the state and they find out it's connected to the ecology of every other area, and what's good for one area helps the other.
That's
and so
true.
just get involved up and down and all around.
I
Okay.
think the exciting thing about the Rocks, Georgia, is it's ever changing, and I think Jim will agree with this. Depending on the season you go out, sometimes even a couple of weeks can make a difference, you know, in what you're going to see as far as what's blooming, what's out there, just wildlife that you might see, birds if you're a bird watcher. It's just an exciting place. You can always find something new and interesting to look at, and it's just a great place.
So if you visit tour in the spring, you may also want to try to tour in the fall.
Yeah, by all
Totally
means.
different,
Exactly.
By all means.
Yes, yes.
Do you know
Georgia,
how-
just to give you an idea, sometimes you can, there've been over 100 species of birds identified out there. When you go out, you may see a few of them. They're migratory, some of them are, some are there year-round, and but the plants, well over 500 species of vascular plants right there in the Broxton Rocks preserves, and some of them are protected, endangered species. And they come into their own at different times of the year. So it's, Ginger's right, when you've gone once, you want to go again and again.
Do you know about how many people, within a year's time tour the rocks?
I would say roughly, since we limit the tours to about 20
That's
people,
true.
and we have added tours this year, there's been a very much so an increased interest in groups coming out and so forth. In the past, I would say probably about 120, roughly.
Do you know the farthest someone has come to our tour? And maybe putting you on the
Oh, gosh.
spot, and I do apologize.
No, as far as I know, is Germany. I mean, there was a conference there for these little quillworts, and so specialists, these botanists from all over the world came to study quillworts. There's somebody from Old Dominion University in Virginia who comes down often to check on things. There have been new species identified there in the rocks that haven't been seen anyplace else in the world.
Yeah.
So maybe farther than Germany, but that's as far as I know.
As far as the tours, we have folks, surprisingly, that come from Savannah, Florida, North Georgia, you know, that you see more of them come here than local people sometimes. So.
Okay. Well, anything else interesting you would like to share with us about the Broxton Rocks or friends of the Broxton Rocks?
I got an email today from somebody who helped expand the Broxton Rocks in the early 2000s. And as he says, when he looks back on his 70-plus-year-old long life, that's one of the things he's most proud of. It's just this is something that's going to affect the ecology of this area for a long time to come. And he's proud of it, and we're proud of it. We just all need to keep it going.
We would like to have, if there's any folks out there like him that have stories to tell or whatever, that's one thing that we would like to pull on and try to get that documented so we could share with people and maybe publish it at some point. That would be a really great thing to do in the Conservancy. Would definitely like to see that happen. So.
Well, we definitely thank the Friends of Broxton Rocks for helping to bring awareness and the part you're doing to help preserve and keep it clean out there at the Broxton Rocks, and especially the Nature Conservancy of Georgia to preserve it for future generations to come.
Very much.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh.
great. We always do a shout out to Frankie Snow and Chris
Yes.
Trial and other people who laid the groundwork for the rest of us to come in and do other things. But Frankie particularly was an early champion, and he's been a stalwart over the decades. So that's been
That
good.
is true,
Malcolm
and we
Hodges
thank
with
them
the
both.
Conservancy. Yes, definitely.
All right, anything else before we go?
No, thanks for the opportunity.
you.
All right, well,
Appreciate it.
before you leave again, because I know we said a lot of things, just give the contact information again.
Okay.
For those who will be interested in
Right.
finding
Well,
you all.
can, go on the Facebook page on Facebook and like Friends of Broxton Rocks, or you can contact Miriam Dormer at the Nature Conservancy at 404-253-7210. Myself, you can call me 912-381-8331. I don't know if you want to give your number, but we will get some contact numbers for you that Johnny can plug in and
Okay.
a schedule of the tours, and
Sure, I'm in the phone book. Give me a call and we'll get you hooked up.
There you go.
Sounds great. Ginger, Jim, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks for
That's a
having us.
pleasure.
You're welcome. We'll be back with more Douglas on My Mind after this break.